Hi, we're Ryan and Jess.
We packed everything we own and moved across the country to build our dream home by ourselves.
I've been framing homes for the last 5 years.
And I've held a hammer maybe 6 times.
So follow along as I experience working other trades for the first time.
And I learned everything for the first time. Okay, good morning.
Good morning. There's water in the speaker.
We're about to start leveling the top half of the house. We put the 2 layers on yesterday, just to repeat that for the 18th time. And yeah, we're gonna start leveling and then we're gonna foam, and then we're hoping today the rain holds off. Everyone in the neighborhood has said that it's been uncharacteristically wet this spring and early summer, so that's good news that it's out of character for this area, but it's bad news because it's out of character now when we're trying to build, so that's okay. We have our rain gear on. So maybe 10 minutes after we recorded that video, it started to rain yet again, but we stuck it out. We were too determined to get this done. So we leveled, foamed, and added an additional 3rd row on top. Good morning. So today the plan is to install the bracing system from Nadura. We just finished watching the video. Nothing like watching the video 30 seconds before you're gonna do something. It looks simple enough to actually install it. It just seems really laborious. The pieces are super heavy because they're like thick, solid metal, thank God, because this is gonna hold up ourselves and the walls. So yeah, we're gonna finish doing that, and then it's supposed to rain again today. So if it does rain, we have a bunch of laundry to do, meal prepping that we can do, but we're really hoping that the rain's not that bad today and that we can get a couple more layers on this wall.
Yep. We're marking out where our braces are going to go. Those metal tracks, they're going to go in this 4-inch spacing. It's marked out. Everywhere there's a plastic stud is marked out by these squiggly diamond things. So we're going to put a track here. It works out to 5'4". Every 5'4", you put a track, and then in the corners, 1, 2, 3 spots in one direction, 1, 2, 3, 4 in another, just so that when we put little angle braces that support our walkway, so 3 and 4. If it was 3 and 3, they'd hit each other. They'd be in the way. So 3, and then 4, and then from that one, 5'4", or 1, 2, 3. It's more than 5'4", so we'll just put one in the middle. Extra is better sometimes. Not to be confused with X's that mean put a scab there, don't forget. So maybe we should change letters. We got 25 other ones to pick from. I don't need them. 1, 2, 3. Here's one little, not problem, but a hiccup that we have to deal with, is we have to have these scabs on to turn the music off. 3, 2, 1. Scab has to go there because we weren't able to get clips in, and that's where our seam's gonna go. So we need scabs there. So now when we put our track here, this scab is going to bring it out 3/4 of an inch. So we now have to put scabs all the way up so that the brace is still plumb and not crooked. So all the way up we got to put scabs there, even if we don't need one. Like right here we don't need one, but we got to put one just to space it evenly. So
it's okay, everyone makes mistakes.
Talking to you guys, I realized that we have a lot more scabs than we need. There's a spot where we need scab because the seam is in the same spot all the way up the wall. It didn't land on a 2-inch increment, so if you look at the ICF, it has a female and male end lock into each other. So if you cut on one of these seams, you see how it's right between. If you cut on one of these seams, it works out that the next row a full piece can overlap and can cover that seam. It locks in on one side and locks in on the other.
It's just like when you're building Lego. If you have those 2 blocks side by side,
yeah,
if something hits it, one block might fall out, but as soon as you put another block on top,
yeah,
it's not going to fall out because it's holding it down. That's how I learned, because I'm new to this.
So I was putting scabs. If you notice, the diamonds go straight in line, and then here the diamond changes pattern. So the stud moved, so these don't line up, but the nub's still locked in, and so this joint is supported at the top because this is a full piece that overlaps, and this joint is supported at the bottom because this interlocks, because it was cut on a 2-inch increment. So we don't need scabs there. What are you doing?
God, Ryan.
What are you doing? Here we need it because I wasn't able to cut on a line. Had to cut like 3/4 of an inch over. So that is why we need a scab there, and a scab there, and a scab there, eventually. So, all right, so this is pretty much what the system's gonna look like. We have our tracks screwed on to the plastic studs. Then we have an angle brace that a piece of rebar is going to go through the hole and stop it from moving, hammered into the ground. And then we have this little angle brace for the platform that is just pinned in there, and yeah, let's do that 30 more times.
just making sure that all of the rebar is being put in the proper track all the way up in every single run of the ICF.
Good morning.
Morning.
So last night, not even last night, it was like 3 o'clock when we took our lunch break yesterday. It was 4 o'clock by the time we got back down in the pit here. And then we lost all motivation. We were so giddy. We were just making so many jokes and just not getting into the work mode. So we called it a day at that point. So now today we're gonna just blow through the last bit of work that we have. We have 2 levels that we have to put in of these 3-inch pieces that Ryan's cutting, and they're basically gonna go all along, and then we have to do another row on top of those, and then we can do the final row of the double tapered ICF blocks. So that's what today is going to entail. It's supposed to be a beautiful day today, so we're just going to literally blast through this stuff, finally be done with it. We're pouring on Monday, which is in 3 or 4 days. We might have a weekend off this weekend. Probably not, because Ryan needs to be productive, but I'm going to try and convince him to have a beach day or something. Do you have anything to add?
You'll thank me when we have a house in the winter. Okay, we put these 3-inch pieces in. We have another row to go because the ICF it comes in 18-inch or 1.5 foot increments, and we have 11-foot foundation walls. The full blocks only go to 10.5 feet, so we need extra 6 inches, and so we need 2 rows of the 3-inch, and they come unassembled, so we have to put these plastic clips in to stop them from spreading apart. That's pretty much it. Tedious, but easy. I just cut a bunch of holes out of there and on this side, and that's because we're gonna have a ledger or a piece of wood against that whole side there. Right there, step down, that's the garage door opening right there. So the joists that support our garage suspended slab, the joists run perpendicular to this wall, and so we're gonna have an LVL sill along this edge here, and the joist will be hanging off of that, so I don't need to cut any holes there. But where that opening is not, we're gonna have a ledger against the wall, and those holes are, so I'm about to cover them with plywood for now, and those holes are going to allow concrete to come right to the edge. And then when we do put the ledger up there and we fasten it in with anchor bolts, we're tightening it to concrete, not just squishing foam and eventually like it being tight on concrete. So that's just a way to get the concrete to the front. And then we'll probably, when I put the plywood up there, I'll drill a little hole so I can put the anchor bolt right in, and I'll cover it in tape to hold it in place and stop concrete from spilling over the threads. And then they'll be, once the concrete hardens, they'll be there, set, ready, and we'll just put the ledger straight up and attach it. So I'm 90% sure I'm going to do it that way. rather than just let the concrete flow to the top and then drill a hole for anchor bolts. It's annoying when you have to put a ledger up to find out exactly where the anchor bolts go. I think I just made up my mind. I don't think I'm going to put the anchor bolts in right away while the concrete's pouring, or before the concrete, because it is so annoying. Hold the ledger up against the wall. Imagine we have little anchor bolts sticking out of every one of those holes. We have to either take measurements of where the anchor bolts are and then drill holes in the ledger and then hope it fits, or you have to hold it up there, hold it where you want it, hammer it so it indents on the back side where you want to drill. That's really annoying, so I just made up my mind. I'm gonna cover this with plywood, let concrete come all the way to the top. Once it's cured, take the plywood off, then we'll put the ledger up. I'll make little marks underneath where the holes are, and then once we put the ledger up, we'll temporarily put it in place by screwing into the plastic studs, and then I'll drill right through, put wedge anchors in there, and then Bob's your uncle, Mary's your aunt. I learned part 2 from Anthony.
Good morning, everyone. It's pour day today.
What day is it, Jess?
Concrete day.
It is concrete day.
For everyone who's wondering who the heck this person is, this is Ben. He was the first friend we made here in BC. He was running the compactor while we were excavating, and he's just been such a great friend to us, the most kind, welcoming, funny person we've met. And yeah, we're really grateful for all the help that he's given. Thanks, Ben.
Ryan and Jess been busting their butts.
Is it? Poor day, baby.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. It is currently 8:33 in the AM. Looks like we're gonna have a awesome possum day. It's supposed to be hot as heck. And yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It's a beautiful day for ICF pouring. Unfortunately, later it says thunderstorms. I don't know why we always pick the worst possible weather day for concrete. It has been amazing weather for the last week straight. Not even week straight. It was actually pretty miserable like 4 days ago. But yeah, we're excited.
We're ready. Truck is here. We're all prepped. We're itching, rearing to go. I think I hear the mixer coming up. So the plan is we'll be doing the first section all the way through. We'll do this all in one course. And so Ryan's gonna be manning the hose. I get to man the vibrator. Jess gets to put the anchor bolts in and screed and slough access for the top walls. Since I can't reach with the vibrator, Ryan is going to go along and do 2 courses along the side, and then at that point I'll be able to reach with the vibrator. So pretty much the one below the particle board is where I'll probably be able to reach with the vibrator. So yeah, Ryan and Jess are one step closer to being able to start framing, and then one step closer to lockup. So yeah, we'll keep you guys posted.
This is a good luck $5 bill that's going to go in our walls. What wall do you want it? Mechanical room, gym, workshop, theater, bedroom, entertainment room.
That one.
Thank you. That is the one I want.
Do you want me to put it in my pocket so you can put it in the concrete, or you want to put it at the bottom?
No, it's going to compromise the integrity of this.
Here was my pay for the day. Well,
Success-ish.
success.
That was a complete success.
Complete success. We had
Except
one minor, very minor blowout.
yeah, we the ICF popped open
Like
on maybe 4 feet off the ground.
foot tall.
Yeah, it was a tiny blowout, and it wasn't even where, I don't think I was pointing the camera at me. It wasn't even where the ICF companies say that, like, to look out for blowouts. Usually it's corners and seams, where the seam lines up the whole wall. So right there, that's their warning, like there might be a blowout here. But where we were, there was no seam. There was just regular old wall. Just a random foam chunk blew out. I don't know if you can see the chunk. That's not even, is that the chunk?
Yep.
That's the chunk right there. That blew out. Just a random chunk. So could have just been a little crack in the ICF from delivery or whatever. There's a couple of our ICF packages that were when they were strapped down for delivery, they, like, the corners were bent in, and Jess said ICF's not going to sponsor us. Nadura's not going to sponsor us. Not blaming Nadura, thinking that it's their fault or whatever, but something happened that there was just a little crack. So that blew up. But other than that, we got it fixed pretty fast, and then everything else is gravy.
Anchor bolts are in.
Yeah, everything's good. Success. Now it's time for a mini vacation. We've been going nonstop for 2 weeks, so time for a day off.
It's time to relax.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so there you have it. That was ICF part 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was quite the time that we had. It was a completely new experience, not only for me, but for Ryan. And all that said, we did really enjoy using the product. It was the easiest thing we could have used for this. And Concrete Day was such a blast. Shout out to Ben for all of those awesome videos that he did for us. And we can't wait to see you in the next one. All right. Bye. Love ya.